guys, I'm back at it again with another review, and this time we're going to be taking a look at the Izuku Midoriya figure from Revoltech. This figure just came out, and I gotta say I am really impressed on how they did this character. I think they did the figure just perfectly. I don't think any other company can get this right. They topped the Figma, they definitely topped the McFarlane, but of course this is a higher end figure, so you're going to expect way more from Revoltech. Now, I don't usually collect Revoltech, but I have two figures and they had a lot of issues and I didn't really care for the ratcheted joints, but the way they did this figure, they did the articulation very smooth. The figure poses great and it came with loads of accessories. So there's a lot of details to go into this review, and I'm going to try to get it done as quick as possible and to show you what this guy's about. So without further ado, let's take a closer look. And as you can see here, I'm using the backdrop that came in the box with Midoriya. It is a really cool piece. It's a picture of him activating his All for One, and it comes in the back of the box as the background. The box is pretty cool. You can zoom out if anyone's interested in the box. Has some cool pictures of him on the side, some more poses, and something really cool they added to on the bottom is a picture from the anime of him in All Might. I just think that's a cool little detail. And enough about the box, I'm here to talk about the figure. Now, as you can see, I've included his One for All effects on him already. There is a total of, let's see, 10 pieces. I have 8 of them on his body already because it's very time consuming to put them on his body. I thought I would do it beforehand for the sake of the review so you can see how it looks all together. I have 2 extra pieces here that I didn't put on, but basically the effects are pegged into his body. There are small holes throughout his body that you peg the pieces into. So right here, as you can see, pegged into his leg and the back of his leg right there, and it's hidden very well. There's 2 pegs in the bottom of his mask. There's a peg on the back of his arm right here. There's even a peg below his fist. And yeah, so they peg in pretty much everywhere. Sometimes they fall off. I'm just going to take them out now that I showed you, but I think that is a really clever way to connect the effect pieces. I don't see any other way how they could have done it, but they hid the holes very well inside the body, around the arm, underneath the fist, behind the foot, and it really gives you the effect of him powering. So now that I showed you the lightning effects, he does come with 2 other pieces. They are pink and they work the same way. They have pegs at the bottom. And then next he comes with 2 extra face plates. There's a happy face here and a angry face right here, and then of course on the figure is the neutral face. Very easy to swap. I'll do it really quick. The hair comes off like so. Face comes off. Very standard. I think my favorite face is this face right here. It pops back in. And there you go. And then also he comes with an extra hair piece that has effects inside of the hair. They don't come off. Well, they do come off, but you probably will have to break them. And the hair's a little wind swept. And then he comes with 2 alternate hands for the shoot style pose, a left hand and a right hand. 2 open hands, as you can see here, for more dynamic posing. And the next set of accessories includes 2 hands that hold his book and his pen. Now the pen is a separate piece and it's very small, so be careful not to lose it. I almost lost it the first day that I got this figure, but luckily I found it. It's very small, but it does fit nicely into the hand, and the book does fit nicely into the hand as well. And a closer look at some of the details on his book. There is a picture of Kamui Woods, the pro hero, and there's some writing on the back. And next we have some alternate eyes for the faceplates. He comes with 6 different pairs of eyes, and they vary from ranges of expressions. Some are looking to the left, some are looking to the right, some are up and down. They look a little angry on some of them. And you also receive a tool to pop out the eyes from the faceplate. And to change the faceplates, you just pop the back of the eyes out from here. Comes out. And now some of the eyes only work for certain face plates, so you gotta look at the back of the eye plate for it. This one says A3, and I think this is face A, and that's face B. You gotta look at the manual that it comes with. It tells you which faces are what, and you just place the eyes in like so. You can get the tool to press it in, and now he's looking to the left. And then he comes with two pairs of stands. This stand holds some of the effect pieces that I'll show you here. Two comic bubbles that say Smash, and you can just place them in between here. It holds it like so. You get a yellow one, an orange one, and then you get another bubble here when he's murmuring, and Deku does that a lot in the show if you watch it. That also fits right there as well. And the other stand comes with an articulated waist grabber, but you don't really need this because it comes with the peg right here when you take it off, and of course Deku does have a hole in his back, so I think that's a lot better to hold it if you're gonna have him on display. And really quick, I want to talk about some of the details on the figure before we talk about the articulation. The costume is painted very nicely. It's a nice matte finish. The green on the hair, very nicely painted, very spiky. Looks pretty accurate to the anime, but I think it should be a little bit frizzier, as he does have a really bushy head in the anime. Paint is pretty clean all around though. The belt looks nice. He has some pouches here. He has some gold plating on the side of his knee pads. His shoes look great. Very nicely painted. There's some metallic paint going on right here. Shoelaces are sculpted. Face sculpts are pretty accurate too. He's got his freckles. His teeth are gritting. All around, the paint seems pretty clean for this figure. So as you can tell, that was a lot of accessories. He's loaded with stuff, and I tried to explain to the best that I could of what they were and how he uses them. And finally, let's get into the articulation, the actual figure, the main part of this video. So from his head, he has a lot of articulation, and it does look a little funny here. His neck looks really long, but I think the cowl hides it well, but you only see that when he looks up, but he can look up very high, look down very low. It's on a ball peg right there, so you get a lot of range of motion. It looks really funny if you have it like that, but once you angle it right, you can push it in, stretch it out. That's what this ball peg does. It moves back and forth. So great articulation in the neck part. Now in the arms, they are a little hindered on the shoulders because of the part of the costume right here, but the arms do pop out right here. You can get them up high. He does have a butterfly joint effect here. The costume does move with it, so it looks very natural. Really posable right there. It just can't go in that well right here. And then he has a elbow articulation right here. I think that's a single joint, but it gets just as good as range as a double joint would get you. He swivels at the fist, and then he does have a wrist peg that moves up and down. And then his torso articulation, very good. Moves back very far, forward very far. Articulation at the waist. Loads of movement around on this guy. But as you can tell, I was moving him around. His body got kind of bent out of shape. But with the right posing, if you know how to pose, you can get him into some really cool poses, and the articulation will just look really natural. And just really quick for the leg articulation, the legs go all the way out to move up. They don't go back that far because of the plate right here. They're very posable. They bend at the knee, a little squeaky right there. It's a ball right here, so that moves. Good range of motion. You get a full range of motion in the foot, pivots and rocks back and forth, and then there is a toe hinge right there as well. So as you can see, this figure is just loaded with articulation. You can get him into almost any pose from the anime. You're going to be able to do a lot of dynamic scenes with this figure. If the All Might that's going to be coming out is any bit similar to this figure, it's going to be just as good. So if you're thinking of picking him up, I definitely recommend that you pick him up now before the prices get too high. As we've seen with other figures of Deku, like the Figma, sometimes it gets out of hand. So if you're waiting to buy this guy, don't wait. Buy it now. I picked mine up from Ami, but I believe the orders have closed. But I think Big Bag Toy Store still has them up for pre-order. If that's your last resort, then I think you should still buy him. And just really quick for the sake of the review, here is a quick size comparison to some other Deku figures that are out right now. Here are two Figma Dekus here, a regular head sculpt and the mask on right here, the exclusive. And we have the McFarlane Deku here with a custom head sculpt. And I really like how he looks in comparison to the Figma, because the Figma is based off of his look from season 1 when he was very scrawny and a little weak in the beginning. And this is based on his current look, which he's an experienced hero. And here he is compared to the McFarlane All Might. As you can see, All Might is still very towering over him. I hope that the Revoltech All Might will be just as tall as this one. And just for fun, here he is next to a Marvel Legends Scarlet Spider. As you can tell, he is a little on the shorter side. And that's going to be it for my video. Like I said, I definitely recommend him. He's a solid figure. This is probably going to be the best Izuku Midoriya figure we get for a while, depending on if any other companies step it up. And he's a really solid figure. Please check out some pictures at the end of the video, and thanks for watching.